Previously on Day In, Day Out. The LCC Lions finished their season with a record of 16 wins, 2 ties, and 1 loss. In their fourth and final tournament, the Lions beat Collège Regina Assumpta in the finals to go 4-for-4 in tournament victories. Watch as they compete in the Gmaa playoffs on this episode of Day In, Day Out. After a record season in the Gmaa, the Lions are now beginning their quest to be champions. They play Collège Regina Assumpta today in the quarterfinal game. In Gmaa playoffs, it's all or nothing. If they win, they move on, but if they lose, their season ends.
Hey boys! This is why we play. We worked all season for this moment. So go out and seize that moment. Boys, play our game and have fun. Have fun. It's our barn. Go out and play our game and have some fun. On D, Pepe. Hey! Hardy. Hey! Up front, LT. Hey! Juice. Hey! G. Hey! In the pipe, Motown. Hey!
And I think by Christmas we kind of knew that we had a really good thing going with our team and that we were the team to beat, not like Cooper or Loyola. And I think that, after everything, after 4 tournament championships, finishing first overall, it was almost a perfect season, but there was one last thing that it would have made it that perfect season, and that was to win the championship. I think that was on everyone's mind. We weren't going in to finish second, finish third. We were going in to win the championship. Regina Assumpta, like Ryan said, there was a team that for some reason, these 2 6-foot goalies, they gave us trouble just scoring on them.
Early in the game, the Lions asserted their dominance, getting numerous shots on net. With only a few seconds remaining in the first period, Justin Oranger scored the first goal of the game.
Now, let's get back to work here, okay boys? Deep pucks. Philly drove the puck wide, pulled up, hit a man late, and we scored. We don't just throw pucks blind into the slot, but let's drive their D wide. They have 4. Let's drive their D wide, make them tired, get guys driving to the net. Pound pucks on net. 1, 2, 3, ready!
In the second period, Brandon McInnes-Morris scored a one-timer off a pass from Alex Maciotra, extending the lead to 2-0. Josh Hardiman made an amazing shot on net, thinking that it had gone in. After deliberation, however, the referees agreed that Josh Hardiman's shot did not enter the net, as the puck bounced outwards from the crossbar. Mark Michaels held up the defensive end, finishing the game with a shutout in a 2-0 victory.
Hey boys, we had a game plan. We knew how they played. We knew what we needed to do to beat them. And we executed it to a T. All right, so you guys should be very proud of yourselves. Way to kick in the pipes, Michaels. So now, it'll probably be online in the next hour or so. We play the winner of PC and Heritage, 2 teams we know well. I got game tape on both of them. I'll be watching, no problem. But again, I said it to you before. It's not about what other teams do. It's about what we do. Okay? It's about how we execute our game plan. All right? So boys, congratulations. One step, eh?
everybody kind of knew that we had the chance of being a special team. We had a chance of going all the way. So we knew that we just had to take it one game at a time and really prepare every game like it was our last, because it could have been. So we really just left it out all on the ice.
I was pretty nervous. I knew every game we played could be the last one we ever put the jersey on. So it was pretty nerve-wracking, but we had confidence at the same time, being the first #1 seed.
Oh, pre-game superstitions. Before game time, I would always play the same song, and it would just get me going.
Number one, before every game, an hour and 15 minutes before, I don't talk to anyone. I put on my music and concentrate.
I always put my left elbow guard on my right arm, and my left one on my right. The designers at CCM made a really bad arm piece, so it's like straight and it's really uncomfortable when you wear it on the actual arm it's made for.
My lucky pair of socks. I got my lucky hat. I usually wear the same clothes. I wear the same Under Armour if we're on a winning streak.
The second an hour before a game hits, I'll put in a certain song. No one's allowed to know the name of that song.
I always buy the same veggie chips before every game. I have a granola bar. I always listen to like the same playlist, like the same 4 songs on repeat.
And I'll go into the gym. I'll go on the bike for 5 minutes, stretch for 7 minutes, go play basketball for 3 minutes.
I wear my yellow sweatshirt that everyone likes to call me out on, and I always listen to the same music, same playlist before the game.
Going into the room 15 minutes before we go on the ice, I start playing with the ball. I have to catch it 5 times with my glove, 5 times on my knees.
I always eat 1 banana 10 minutes before the game.
5 times hitting my chest, just so I can get in the routine.
I always wait till the last minute to get dressed really fast. That way it feels like I'm getting more amped for the game.
No one can ever put their hand in my catcher.
I got to make sure I don't pass the line where Mark sits here, because or else he gets really mad.
I'm the only one who's allowed to retape my stick.
I always go pee literally a minute before I go on the ice.
I always put my right equipment on before my left.
And those are all my superstitions.
I used to also do this thing where I would hit each side of the boards before I get on the ice twice, but it was kind of just like a waste of time. I kind of dropped that one.
Sort of broke his stick after a while.
Yeah, it's just like cutting at the edge of it.
For the semifinal game, the Lions are competing against Heritage Regional High School. With home ice advantage, the Lions have a large fan base watching with high pressure. Early into the game, Alex DeGagne shot from the blue line, and Justin Oringer deflected the shot to go past the goalie, starting the game with a 1-0 lead. In an attempt to dump the puck to change lines, Josh Hardiman shot the puck towards the crease and managed to get it in the net, putting the Lions up by 2 goals. Despite their numerous attempts, Heritage couldn't get past LCC goalie Mark Michaels. In the third period, Brandon McInnes-Morris deked out the Heritage defenseman and scored a quick goal from behind the net. The Lions won their semifinal game 3-0, with Michaels maintaining a playoff shutout. On Thursday, they play Cooper Academy in the city championships.
As we prepared for that final game, it was not just the quarterfinal and the semifinal, but the practices in between and before the final. The messaging and everything that was discussed with the players was based on confidence. We were a team that at that point had won 15 straight games after Christmas. We were a team that had won all 4 tournaments they played in. We were a team that had lost to Cooper, made adjustments, and then come back and beat them. And so most important to me going into that game was that the guys were all in a very confident state of mind.
I knew there was a lot on the line. A lot of work had been put in. League title in our grasp. Had to take advantage of the opportunity against a fierce rival like Cooper, and 400, 500 people in the building. It was our moment, and we were going to take advantage of it.
The night before the championship game was honestly I actually didn't know what to think of, because there was so much pressure. We're playing Cooper. They're so skilled, so talented. We're more of like a hard-nosed team. We try hard, play well defensively, rely on good defense and goaltending. So honestly, I couldn't think of much. Like, I just knew, got to do my job.
Well, going through the championships, when we realized that we would be playing Cooper, everybody they knew that they would be a tough test, and they knew that it wasn't going to be easy, and they weren't going to hand it over to us. And everybody remembered that game where we got blown out, which I think it was 7-2 or 7-3. So everyone had that in the back of their mind.
I was really, really trying to get prepared, just extremely nervous. When I got to the rink, nerves really got to me and stuff, and I wasn't really feeling the best. So I went to the washroom and puked up all dinner, and so I was really, really, really nervous.
The championship final was obviously very special. We have hosted the championships for the GMAA ever since our new rink opened in 2008. And this was our second opportunity to play in the final in our own rink. Boys, 36 games under your belt to prepare for this. That's what we built for. I could not be more confident standing in front of a team I've ever coached. I can say that honestly. It's impossible. I can't be more confident. You guys have put in the work. You guys have been determined. You guys have been committed. You guys play with pride. There's absolutely nothing else I could possibly ask for. No one, no team is more ready for this moment than you guys. You got to take those butterflies and that little bit of nervousness and get it out by moving your legs. Get it out by playing the most committed, determined hockey game you've ever played in your life. The result takes care of itself, I'll tell you right now. The results speak for themselves with this team. Look at what you guys have accomplished, all right? You've peaked at the right time, you're mentally prepared, you're physically prepared. Every single thing we wanted to have fall in place at the right time is there.
Both LCC and Cooper maintained pressure in attempts to secure their first goal. Cooper made several attempts, nearly hitting the crossbar in one shot. Less than 5 minutes into the game, G scored the first goal off an assist from Justin Oringer. Minutes later, Brandon McInnes-Morris took a wrist shot from the point that found its way into the top left shelf of Cooper's net, extending the Lions' lead to 2-0. Cooper reciprocated, scoring a goal right off the draw to get on the scoreboard at the end of the first period.
Hey boys, look. Let's remember in our zone to do our jobs. Centers down low helping our D, wingers covering your points, okay? If it's 3-on-3 down low, there's no reason to all of a sudden open up their point men and let them feed pucks up to the top, then throw them back on net, all right, boys? Let's get back to being aggressive here. Every puck that comes around the boards, we have to be strong on. Then when we go to get it out, if we're skating with it or we're not, we got to move it hard. Simple. Simple and hard like we talked about, okay, boys? We're playing great. Let's reset. They're forechecking hard. We just got to work even harder and smarter in our zone. That's all it is. Take care of our zone, then the offense will come. Okay, boys? Get pucks deep. Let's get pucks to the net. Here we go. Run!
In the second period, Mark Michaels continuously shut Cooper down, blocking all their shots. Alex DeGagne scored the Lions' third goal, putting them up 3-1.
What do you think they're going to come out with this period? First 5 minutes, they're going to empty the tank. They're going to go for goals. They're going to have guys behind us. D-men, be aware. We're going to try and change every 30 seconds so we get fresh legs on, so be ready. Simple, smart plays, okay? The ice will be a little bit wet here, so we got to move the puck hard. We got to be smart, boys. But what was the theme of yesterday's practice? Confidence, okay? We're up 3-1. The way I look at it, it's a 0-0 game. We don't need to score to win. It's 0-0 game right now. So we need to keep playing our game, but you need to play with confidence.
Last 15 minutes, let's go.
In the third period, the Lions held a strong defensive end. 10 minutes into the period, Cooper scored their second goal, narrowing the Lions' lead down to 3-2. Just minutes later, Cooper scored again, tying the score with little time left in regulation. To determine the winner, the two teams will now play 4-on-4 overtime.
We came out into the third period and actually played fantastic. I think the first 5 minutes of that third period, we carried the play. But then, give Cooper credit, they scored a very lucky goal where a guy threw a puck out in front of the net from behind the net. It hit the back of our defenseman's leg and went in. And then a couple of minutes later, they got a power play, and they called a timeout. They made an adjustment, and they basically just passed the puck to the point and told their D-man to throw it on the net. They crashed the net. They had two bodies in front, and they ended up scoring that tying goal with about 3-4 minutes left in the game.
End up giving up the lead in the third, heading to overtime, but I knew it was something we could get over, something we learned from throughout the year. That was one thing we knew, as long as it was in our grasp, we were going to work for it.
Going into overtime in the finals versus Cooper was one of the most challenging things I've ever done. After giving up 2 goals in the third period, I was really shaky and nervous. Going into overtime, I just thought to myself, it's my last time playing as a Lion, last time playing for Mr. Lano. So I had to really give it my all. I figured that since our team was tired, I'd try to cover the puck every time possible so they recuperate. But really, I was so nervous. I might not have shown it, but I was shaking on the inside, knowing 1 goal could end my LCC career without a championship.
One of the biggest things in overtime when you go down to the 4-on-4 format is you can't afford to try and change your game. You can't afford to sit back. You have to just play. You have to go out and try and win the game. You can't try not to lose the game. You have to have that mentality that you're going to win the game.
The Cooper player had come down on one-on-one and beat our D wide. He took a big shot on net. I was kind of held my breath there for a second, thought it might roll in. Mark shut the door. It came around the boards. I tried to get my body in front of the D-man. Luckily, sat him down.
And it was 4-on-4, so there was a lot of ice to skate. So I ended up just picking up the puck, and I just skated, and no one was in front of me, so I kept on going. My entire line, all 3 other guys went to change, so I knew I was by myself. But I just pulled one move, I exploded by him, I used my last bit of energy, and I ended up shooting it far side blocker, and it went in, and it just, the whole world stopped when I scored. I mean, it was unbelievable. I didn't know what to think. I couldn't believe that it actually happened, and it was crazy.
I was truly speechless. I had so many emotions going through my body, knowing I wanted to win a championship since grade 9, and that was my goal, and I finally accomplished it.
The crowd was going wild. Bench was jumping up and down. I threw off my gloves, threw off my helmet, and from that point on, I don't remember much.
I was just so like into it, and I didn't believe it at first, and then when I just saw everyone get up and scream and the whole crowd get so loud, you just jump onto the ice, go chase after Josh, do our huge dog pile that we did, and honestly, it was just the best feeling in the world.
All of a sudden, Hardy got that goal. Just boom, everyone just jumped on the ice. I was the first one to go on the ice, however, kind of tumbled off the bench.
After the goal scored, I just remember skating down the ice. It was probably the fastest I skated all game. I mean, I was just in the moment, running off adrenaline, and I just got attacked by the whole team, and it was such a good way to end their season, because of the season we had, which was unbelievable. I mean, we lost 2 games all year, tied 1, won 4 tournaments, and now we are the city champs. It was unbelievable. It was a great way to end it, and I mean, obviously it felt amazing to score the goal that led us to the championship, but I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, after the game, I still couldn't believe it. It took me a couple days for it to settle in that it was over, that we had won.
It's impossible to describe with words the pandemonium that follows when you win a game in overtime, let alone a championship in overtime. I think that when you watch the video of the celebration, it's almost better watched on mute, because you get a true feeling for the elation that comes when you win a game like that. Here we go, boys. This thing's weighing tight. Be careful, it's going to hurt your neck, eh? These are going to hurt your neck, boys, so be careful. Weighing tight. Hey, wait till you pick up that trophy, boys. That trophy weighs 100 pounds, I kid you not. Like more salmon? I nearly dropped it in 2006, 2007. No, I'm going to hand it to you. Good shot, man.
After winning the city championships, the Lions have successfully earned the slogan 4 for 4 and 1 more. To finish off a perfect season, the team is traveling to Scandinavia. In Denmark, Sweden, and Norway, the Lions will represent Lower Canada College as they play several teams. Tonight, however, the 22 players of the LCC Lions juvenile hockey team will sleep happily, having won the GMAA City Championship. 4 for 4 and 1 more. Thank you for watching Day In, Day Out.